Good morning, students. So the previous class we have started a nuclei chapter in a second track of physics, and in the chapter we discussed some concepts like what is nucleus, who discovered nucleus, and also what is the composition of the nucleus, and to understand the nucleus, what are the hypotheses proposed by scientists like a proton electron hypothesis and also proton neutron hypothesis. What are their drawbacks and postulates, we discussed yesterday. And one more also, composition of the nucleus means what are the constituent particles inside the nucleus, and what is the chemical symbol of the nucleus, and inside the nucleus what are the particles like protons, neutrons, and outside what are the particles, electrons, what is atomic number, mass number, and nuclei, what is a nucleus, what is a neutron, properties of the neutron, properties of proton, mass, charge, specific charge, we discussed yesterday class. And one more also have given discovery of the neutron also, and James Chadwick discovered neutron, and how he discovered, and equation also I have given yesterday. What are the some properties of the neutron also we discussed. Now in this class we'll discuss what are the types of nuclei, means like isotopes, isobars, isotones, and isomers we'll discuss in this class. So what are isotopes, types of nucleides? First one you can write isotopes. So I think in chemistry already have the idea. So these are basics only actually. So for PU level, one more question important, isotopes. So generally we have, what is the difference between the element and a compound? So any substance having generally same kind of atoms can be called as element, and a different kind of atoms if a substance have, it is called as a compound. Like water is a compound, carbon dioxide compound, but copper is element, oxygen or hydrogen solid level, they are also taken as elements only generally. Isotopes means generally the atoms of the nucleides are the atoms of an element which have same atomic number but different mass numbers. Any atoms which are having same atomic number but different mass number are called isotopes. For example, if take a chemical symbol of an element XZA, it is a chemical symbol of the element XZA. For example, this element may have various isotopes, like for example X1, it is equal to Z same but A1. Next X2, it is also nothing but A2. X3, A3. For all the atoms, they are having a same atomic number. Same atomic number meaning they have same number of protons and also same number of electrons. But what is the difference here? If you subtract A minus Z, will get number of neutrons. So the atoms of elements which are having same atomic number but a different mass number are called isotopes. So generally this type of isotopes are having same number of protons and electrons but a different number of neutrons. And here whenever they are having a same atomic number, all the isotopes of an element have same chemical properties, because atomic number not changing means chemical property also will not change. So they are having the same chemical properties and they will occupy same position in the periodic table. If you take periodic table, for example, hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, and so on. So they are having various positions they will occupy. But isotopes of an element will occupy the same position in the periodic table. They have same chemical properties and also will occupy the same position in the periodic table. But what they may have different properties, as mass number or neutron number changes, their physical properties may be different. So they are not same. Physical properties are different, and also they are having a different nuclear properties also maybe. So that's why these are the isotopes. Example, you can write a hydrogen has 3 isotopes, and if you take a lithium having 2 isotopes, or gold if you take, they are having 32 isotopes. So various atoms may have various number of isotopes. So you can say, so isotopes, these are the atoms which are having a same atomic number. Same atomic number means Z same, but different mass number. Same atomic number but having a different mass number are called isotopes. So generally these are having a same number of protons. They are having a same number of protons and also electrons. Number of protons and number of electrons equal in all the isotopes, but they are having a different number of neutrons. They are having a different number of neutrons. Neutrons symbol formula also have given A minus Z. So here because of same atomic number, they have same chemical properties. So all the isotopes are having the same chemical properties. But which properties are different? They are having a different physical properties. They are having a different physical and also nuclear properties. Different physical and nuclear properties. And one more, they occupy same position. All the isotopes occupy same position in the periodic table. Same position in the periodic table. So they will not occupy same position in the periodic table. But one more important you have to understand, all the isotopes may not have same abundance in the nature. For example, if you take a chlorine, it has two isotopes. One is chlorine atomic number 35, mass number chlorine atomic number 17, mass number 35, and one more 17, 37 also there, two isotopes. But both the isotopes are not having the same availability levels in the earth crust or nature. For example, if you take a chlorine atomic number 30, mass number 35 has nearly 75% available in the nature, whereas chlorine 37 has only 25% available in the nature. So all the isotopes may not have the same abundance, so they may have different relative abundances. So isotopes have different relative abundances. Here abundance, don't feel it is a difficult word. Availability, nothing but percentage of availability in the nature, nothing but. So relative abundance. So they have different relative abundances in nature. So we can write one example for isotope. So hydrogen, we can write a 1H1, which is called a proton or protium. So that is a 1H1, and the second 1H2 deuterium, 1H3 tritium. So these are the three isotopes of hydrogen. So all the three isotopes are having the same atomic number 1, 1, 1, but mass number is different 1, 2, 3. But their abundance also different in the nature, and they are having a different physical properties also. If take a chlorine Cl, that's atomic number 17, mass number 35, and one more atomic number 17, mass number 37. So two isotopes. If take a lithium Li, having a two isotopes, that is atomic number 3, mass number here 7, and also mass number 6 and 7. So two isotopes. You may take carbon C610, C611, C612, C613, C614. So carbon has various isotopes, but all the isotopes may not be stable also. You have to understand they may have different physical properties and may have different nuclear properties also. For example, carbon C612, it is one of the stable element. Carbon C612 is a stable element, whereas carbon C614 is not stable. It is a radioactive element. So nothing but also having a radioactive properties. That's why in case of the archaeology department, they are using a carbon C614 to find the age of the fossils, like how many years ago they may live. So to estimate the age of the fossils, we can use carbon C614. So by estimating, we can understand how many years ago the dinosaurs or maybe some of the trees or some of the rocks may present. So we can estimate. The type of method is called carbon dating. So for carbon dating, we are using one of the radioactive element carbon, and also uranium, like atomic number 92, mass number 235, and also uranium 92, 236, uranium 92, 238, various isotopes. So all the three isotopes of uranium are not stable, they are radioactive. So by using uranium 238, so we can estimate the age of the rocks, or age of the earth, or age of the old mountains, ancient mountains. That is called uranium dating. So various elements may have various abundances in the nature, and also various physical properties, and various radioactive or nuclear properties also. For example, if you take a gold, it has 32 isotopes ranging from 173 to up to 204, having a 32 isotopes are there. So it is about the isotopes. But by using this isotopes concept only, we can find average atomic weight or average atomic mass also. So because they are having various isotopes are having a various abundances availability in the nature, but how to find average atomic weight or average atomic mass? How to find average atomic mass means, I'll take average atomic mass. I'm using either M or A, your choice. That is called M average. I'm writing here, which is equal to, for example, two isotopes are given. One is X1, or one is X, one is Y. So we can write first one is having a mass is equal to M1 and abundance is equal to X1. Here mass means you have to understand atomic mass or atomic weight. You have to assume M1 X1. It is availability of that isotope in the nature, percentage like 20% or 30% we have to write, plus second isotope average atomic mass is equal to M2, but availability is equal to X2, divided by total percentage. You should write X1 plus X2. Always denominator X1 plus X2 should be equal to 100. X1 is equal, for example, one isotope having a 70% available. Second isotope of the same element having a 30% available. 70 plus 30 must be always 100. Denominator should take 100 only. But your choice, you write M1 plus A1 or A2. That equal A1 X1 plus A2 X2 by A1 X1 plus X2. But here we can write average atomic weight. So for this, I'll give one example. Find the average atomic mass of or average atomic weight of chlorine. So actually, I have given chlorine has two isotopes. One is 17, atomic number 35, second 37. I'll take a chlorine Cl, atomic number 17, mass number 35. So in this chlorine, it has availability or percentage is equal nothing but 75 approximately. But if you write 74 point, it is equal to 74.98. So check the value, availability. Here we can write the average atomic mass also, or write approximately 75 also write. The given 75.4% I'll take. So roughly may take, no problem. 75% 3 times. So 75% or 75.4% chlorine available, but its average atomic mass is equal to, I'll take a 35 AMU or 34.98 AMU. So already we know AMU means atomic mass unit. So unified mass or atomic mass unit. And I'll take a second one, isotope chlorine 1737 you should take. And check here, availability of this one is equal to X2, 24.6%. One thing you have to understand, by adding these two values, we should get 100%. For example, roughly if take it is a 75%, it is equal to 25%, we'll get 100 only. So nothing will be happen, nearly the same only. And its average atomic mass, M2 is equal to 36.98 AMU. So I have given M1 X1, M2 X2. How to find average atomic mass? Or your choice. It is equal X1 A1, X2 A2. Find average atomic mass. I'll find average atomic mass is equal to M1 X1 means 34.98 into x1 is equal to 75.4 plus next value is equal to m2 equal to 36.98 into 24.6 divided by total abundance is equal to 75.4 plus 24.6. Now use calculator and simplify this one. So numerator value, first value 34.98 into 75.4, 2637.5 plus 909.7 divided by 100. So denominator value adding 75.4 plus 24.6, adding both equal to 100. Now adding both the values in the numerator, total add cheyaleda 35.47 AMU. So check the value. So 2637.5 plus 909.7, adding how much you will get? Adding both the values, how much you will get? So add, if you have the calculator, 2637.5 plus 909.7 equal to 3547.2 divided by 100. Now if you divide 100 means adjust 2 digits left side, that equal to 35.472. If you round up the value, will get approximately 35.47 or 35.5 also roughly may take. So that is average atomic mass. So any isotopes given, chlorine, carbon, oxygen or hydrogen, whatever it is given, so it is a method. Remember one common and general formula, average atomic weight or average atomic mass is equal to, so if 2 isotopes are given, use this formula. If 3 isotopes are given, M1X1 plus M2X2 plus M3X3 divided by X1 plus X2 plus X3. If for example 10 isotopes given, up to 10 you should take M1X1 plus M2X2 plus and so on plus M10X10 divided by X1 plus X2 plus X3 and so on plus X10. Any number of isotopes are given, method same only. It's one of the important numerical for 5 marks for PU level also. So they may give this type of questions. Sometimes M1 X1 they will give, they may give M1 or sometimes M1 M2 they will give in the question. Average atomic also they will give average atomic mass, but they may ask what is the X1 and X2 value. What is abundance of the first isotope, abundance of the second isotope, how to calculate? So in that case, M average atomic mass is equal, for example, 35.47 already they have given, M1 given, M average given, M1 is equal already we know 34.98 given, and the second value also given 36.98. How to find X1 value, X2 value? So adding X1 plus X2 must be always equal to 100%. So then take X1 is equal to unknown value X%. We don't know 20% or 30% or 50%, X1 equal X. But X2 must be equal to how much? We know already X1 plus X2 must be equal to 100%. I have taken X1 equal to X%. Then what about X2 means 100 minus X1. So you should take it as equal to 100 minus X%. Now simple. So we should take M average given 35.47 equal to M1 X1 means 34.98 into X plus 36.98 into 100 minus X divided by X plus 100 minus X. So X cancel means 100 only. By taking a cross multiplication, we can find X value first. After getting X value, if you subtract from 100, you will get X2 value also. So that is one of the important model. So remember the basic formula. From this formula we may solve 2-3 model problems. Correct? That's important. It is about isotopes. And second, isobars. What are isobars? Isotopes, and also second one, isobars. Isobars. But here exactly opposite to isotopes. Here isotopes are having same atomic number, different mass number. But here same mass number but different atomic number. So the atoms of the different atoms which are having a same mass number. So same mass number means a total number of nucleons, protons plus neutrons are same, but different atomic number. Different atomic number means number of protons are different and also number of electrons are different. So the atoms which are having a same mass number but a different atomic number are called isobars. But whenever they are having a different atomic number, they may have different chemical properties, but they may have same physical properties. So isobars may have same physical properties, but different chemical properties. One more you have to understand, whenever atomic number changes, automatically they will occupy different positions in the periodic table. So they may occupy different positions, different or various positions in the periodic table. Various positions in the periodic table. So these are isobars. We can write example. 1H3 is one of the isotope of the hydrogen, tritium. And second one we have helium. I have isotope 2Ha3. Observe carefully. Here both are having a different atomic numbers. So elements are different, but the number of nucleons is same. 3 and 3 also right. And I am taking a carbon C614. I'll take nitrogen 7N14. Check carefully. Both are having a different atomic numbers, but here 14 will be same. You should take. Or lithium, or write argon, atomic number 18, mass number 40. Calcium, atomic number 20, mass number 40. Check here. Both are having a different atomic numbers but same mass numbers. So this type of atoms are called isobars. Isotopes, isobars. Next one, what are isotones? Isotones. But here they are having a same number of neutrons. The atoms which are having different atomic number, different mass number, or maybe same also, but they are having a same number of neutrons. Same A minus Z. So already I have given A minus Z meaning number of neutrons. So the atoms which are having the same number of neutrons are called isotones. So we can write here same number of neutrons means atomic number different. Automatically their chemical properties are different, and physical properties may or may not be same, and nuclear properties also may or may not be same, and they may occupy various positions in the periodic table also. Correct. So here I'll take one example. 1H3 I'll take. 1H3 means what are the number of neutrons? 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. And I'll take 2He4 helium. Here also 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. So first case number of neutrons N is equal to 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. And here also N is equal to 4 minus 2 also equal to 2 you should write. So number of neutrons same in both the cases. They may call isotones. One more example, carbon C613 for example. that equal number of neutrons. N is equal to 13 minus 6 equal to 7. Number of neutrons equal 7 may take. And one more, nitrogen 7n14. Here n is equal to 14 minus 7 equal to 7. Here also number of neutrons are same. So this type of any examples you may take, they should have here atomic number, mass number different. Here atomic number, mass number different, but number of neutrons are same. So this type of elements are called, or atoms are called isotones, isotopes, isobars and isotones. And one more, mirror nuclei. Mirror nuclei. So what are mirror nuclei means? They may have different atomic number, different mass number. So two elements I'll choose, or two atoms I'll choose. They may have different atomic number, different mass number, but number of protons in one nuclei will be exactly equal to number of protons in other nuclei, or number of protons in one nuclei equal to number of neutrons in other nuclei, and vice versa. For example, I am choosing X and Y. Here number of protons Z, Z1. Here number of protons equal to Z2. Here A1 is equal to mass number, A2 is equal here mass number. For example, here number of protons, here number of neutrons, both are equal. In this, for example, number of protons equal to 10. Here number of neutrons 10. Here number of protons equal to 5. Then here number of neutrons also equal to 5. So that is, they are called mirror nuclei. So the atoms which are having the number of protons in one element will be equal to the number of neutrons in the other element, and vice versa are called mirror nuclei. If you want to note down that one, the atoms which are having the number of protons in one element, number of protons in or one nuclei, number of protons in one nuclei or one nucleus, number of protons in one nucleus are equal to the number of neutrons in other nucleus or other atom. Number of protons in one atom are equal to the number of protons in number of neutrons in the other atom, and vice versa, exactly opposite, and vice versa are called mirror nuclei. For this I'll take one example, you can understand easily. Lithium I'll take, one more I'll take a beryllium. Atomic number of lithium 3, beryllium 4. Both are having different atomic numbers. Here 3 and here 4. I'll take this one 7, and this I'll take 9. Or beryllium having various values also, like 8, 9, and also there. For example, here if you take number of protons equal how much? I'll take beryllium, lithium and beryllium. Here 4, and if take for example 8 also, and take a number of protons here 7. Number of protons equal to 3. Here number of neutrons equal to how much? Or take here 7 also. And 7 if take means check what you will get. Here number of protons 3. Here number of neutrons 7 minus 4 is equal to 3. Okay, 7 minus 4 is equal to 3. Here number of neutrons 7 minus 3 is equal to 4. Here number of protons is equal to nothing but 4. So both should be equal. Here number of protons 3, number of neutrons equal to 7 minus 3 is equal to, should take 4. In this case, number of protons is equal to nothing but 4. Number of neutrons is equal to, n is equal to 7 minus 4 is equal to 3. Now check here. Here number of protons, here number of neutrons equal. Here number of protons, here number of neutrons equal. Or we take lithium 3, 6, 6 also we take. Here we take 8, you will get the same value only. So the elements which are having number of protons in one nucleus or one atom are equal to the number of neutrons in the other atom, and vice versa. Number of protons in the second element are equal to the number of neutrons in the first element. Then such type of nuclei are called mirror nuclei. So it is about isotopes, isobars, isotones, and mirror nuclei. And one more also there, isomers. Isomer means, but actually not given. So the same element, the atoms which are having a same atomic number, the atoms which are having a same atomic number, same mass number. So atoms which are having a same atomic number means the same Z, and also having a same mass number, A also same, but different nuclear properties. So any atoms you may take which are having same atomic number, same mass number, but they may have various radioactive properties or various nuclear properties are called isomers. So if you take for example one element, I am taking one atom, I am taking XZA. It is a stable element which is in the ground state, and it is a stable, and in the ground state we can write stable. It will occupy for example in ground state. Whereas same, I'll take one more XZA, just I'll put one star. So that is in excited state or metastable state. So excited or metastable, it is nothing but an unstable element. Unstable, which is in a metastable or excited state. Metastable state or excited state. So, but both are having the same atomic number. For example, let me take a strontium, SR, we can write strontium, or bromium, you can write strontium or bromium. You may take both, nothing but you can take examples only. So strontium has two elements you can write, two atoms, two isotopes. Not necessarily isotope also. Strontium only may take same atomic number, same mass number. One will be in a ground state and one will be in a metastable state or excited state. Similar model may take a bromium. So bromium also may take a ground state, and after some time, for example, it is excited means it's automatically nuclear properties will be different. So the atoms which are having a same atomic number, same mass number, but having a various nuclear properties are called isomers. So sometimes some of the nuclei may have excess number of neutrons. So more number of neutrons comparing to protons. So the type of are called isodiaphers. So generally A minus 2Z you can write. So the elements which are not necessarily this one. So isodiaphers. Means the elements which are having excess number of neutrons. The atoms having excess number of neutrons, that is A minus 2Z. So comparing to atomic number, for example, if take aluminum with atomic number, for example 20, atomic number 13, and mass number I will take 27, atomic number 13, mass number 27. And if take for example A minus Z means how much you will get? 27 minus 13 is equal to 4. 27 minus 13 is equal to 14 will get. So 13 2s are 26. But comparing to 2 times, it is a more is there. 1 Newton more is there. So this type of elements can be taken as nothing but isodiaphers. The atoms which are having excess number of neutrons, nothing but A minus 2Z can be taken as isodiaphers. So all these are the types of nuclei: isotopes, isobars, isotones, isomers, mirror nuclei, and also isodiaphers. But all these are 1 mark and 2 marks questions only. So remember the definition and also one example. But whereas in isotopes, I have given one formula for finding average atomic weight or average atomic mass. So that will be important for numericals, 5 marks. In textbook also 2-3 problems, the first 2-3 problems I think given based on this concept only. Later I may try these problems, but of course I will discuss. But if time permits, so try these 2 problems, how to find average atomic mass also. So it is a concept about types of nuclei or types of nucleides. And one more concept about what are the characteristics of a nucleus. So total chapter we are discussing about a nucleus only. Up to now we discussed what are the types of the nuclei. Now what are the properties or what are the characteristics of a nucleus? We'll discuss. Characteristics or properties. Characteristics of a nucleus. It is one of the important concept only. Characteristics of a nucleus. So what are the various characteristics of the nucleus? Means a nucleus may have size. A nucleus may have some size which is called a nuclear size. A nucleus having something a charge, so which is called nuclear charge. It is also one of the basic property only, nuclear size, nuclear charge. Third one, nucleus also having something mass because of the protons and neutrons, so which is called a nuclear mass. And mass and also it is having a size means automatically a nucleus have some density also. So we can write a nuclear density. Density of the nucleus are simply called as a nuclear density. And one more we can write the spin of the nucleus. The nucleus, inside the nucleus, the protons and neutrons also not at rest. They are having something a motion, and from that we can calculate the spin, nuclear spin. So all these properties or characteristics we'll discuss. For competitive exams also important these properties, and especially first one and this third one in our syllabus, density also given, and size important property, that is what is a nuclear size, and we'll discuss this one. First property. So note down these properties, and point wise we'll discuss each and every property. So I'll discuss first nuclear size. After discovery of the nucleus by Rutherford, and remaining scientists started analyzing and also studying the nucleus. What are the various properties of the nucleus by using various methods or various experiments. So they tried to analyze and to understand the structure of the nucleus. In that, what is a nuclear size? All the nuclei may not have the same size. So experiments proved that generally nucleus having a spherical shape. A nucleus having a spherical shape. So shape of the nucleus is a spherical. Nucleus has a spherical shape. Almost nucleus has a spherical shape. But here from hydrogen to, as we are going with increasing mass number like hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, and so on, like iron, copper, and also uranium, plutonium, thorium. If you are going with increasing mass number, the volume of the nucleus also increasing. So that means as the mass number increases, the size of the nucleus or volume of the nucleus also increases. So that we have to understand from the experiments. So the volume of the nucleus is always directly proportional to the mass number. More the mass number, more the size. Less be the mass number and less be the size of the nucleus. So that's why various nuclei may have various sizes. So we can write volume of the nucleus. Volume of a nucleus is always directly proportional to its mass number, atomic mass number. Volume of the nucleus is directly proportional to mass number. For example, if take a hydrogen, mass number of the hydrogen, for example, I am taking a 1H1, only 1 means the size will be less. And I am taking a helium. So helium is equal to mass number 2He4. So mass number of the helium 4. Whenever mass number increases, the volume also increases. For example, I am taking oxygen. That is oxygen atomic number 8, mass number 16. So mass number increases, then volume also increases. If take for example uranium, atomic number 92, mass number for example 235. Check, comparing to these the mass size will be more. So the volume of the nucleus is directly proportional to the mass number. More the mass number, more the volume. Less be the mass number, less be the volume. So I'll write here a volume symbol. I am taking a V, capital V. Directly proportional to mass number symbol, I will take a capital A. So V is directly proportional to A, we can write. But the volume formula we know already. Volume of the sphere formula 4 by 3 pi r cube. Volume of the sphere we know formula 4 by 3 pi r cube. Right here, where r is equal to radius. So therefore I'll write here 4 by 3 pi r cube is directly proportional to A. 4 by 3 pi r cube is directly proportional to A. But here 4 by 3 pi constant, sir. 4 by 3 number. Pi also constant. Then we neglect 4 by 3 pi. Then r cube is directly proportional to A. Na? Proportionality means we can neglect 4 by 3 pi. Then r cube proportional to A. Or take a cube also right side. R proportional to A to the power of 1 by 3. Here cube if take right side, it become power 1 by 3. If you remove this proportionality, if you want, what we have to write? One constant you should write. Proportionality constant. Write one constant r is equal to r naught, r 0. I am writing r naught into A to the power of 1 by 3. So it is one of the important formula both for PU and also for competitive exams. So what is the radius of the nucleus, or how to find the radius of the nucleus means by using this formula we can find the radius of the nucleus. So radius of the nucleus r equal to r naught into A to the power of 1 by 3. What is here r naught? R naught is a proportionality constant or experimental constant equal to 1.2 into 10 to the power of minus 15 meter. So this value no need to give an exam. If they given, no problem. Otherwise, we should take 1.2 into 10 power minus 15 meter. We can write r naught value. It is an experimental constant or a proportionality constant equal to this value. But generally, in the first year, we discussed in units and measurements. 10 power minus 15 meter is called. For example, 10 power minus 10 meter, 1 angstrom. 10 to the power of minus 6 meter, 1 micrometer. 10 power minus 9 nano. 10 power minus 15 Fermi. So 10 power minus 15 meter is equal to 1 Fermi. So we can also write 1.2 Fermi. There A is called mass number. In this formula, A is mass number, V is a volume of, R is a radius of the nucleus. Capital R is equal to radius of the given nucleus. Radius of a nucleus. That is R naught is the proportionality constant and A is equal to atomic mass number. A is nothing but atomic mass number. So any element given, substitute the values and may calculate here from this formula. And I'll write 1 or 2 ratio formulas also here. Check here. Volume generally I am writing a V proportional to A. That implies V1 by V2 is equal to A1 by A2 we can write. V1 by V2 is equal to A1 by A2. But here we have written R proportional to A power 1 by 3. That implies R1 by R2 is equal to A1 by A2 whole to the power of 1 by 3 we can write. Radius and mass number relation. So these two also competitive exams ratio problems important. Sometimes this concept they may link with other concepts also. First year we have law of conservation of linear momentum concept is there. For example, I will take one nucleus. I am choosing any one nucleus like this. So X, Z, A I am taking, it is a nucleus. Initial mass of the nucleus equal to M. Mass number is equal to A. And the volume of the nucleus is equal to V. Starting it is at rest. suddenly the nucleus breaks into two parts. So explosion, nothing but we are not applying any external force, but without applying external force only, suddenly the nucleus breaks into two parts. So one part, one nucleus I am taking here. Let me take this one is equal to like x1, it is a z, and this one equal to a1, z1 a1, and it is moving on one side. It is having a mass is equal to m1 and a velocity is equal to v1. Mass number a1, mass m1, and the speed is equal to v1. It is moving right side, and the radius is equal to, I'll take r1. But second nucleus I'll take, it is equal to, for example, x2 with atomic number z2, mass number a2, it is moving left side with the mass m2, speed is equal to v2, and the radius is equal to r2. You should write. So we know according to law of conservation of momentum. So note down this one. I'll give a nucleus. A nucleus, important concept for complete exams. A nucleus at rest. A nucleus at rest breaks into, a nucleus at rest breaks into two nearly equal parts. Two nearly equal parts with masses m1 comma m2. They are having masses with masses m1 comma m2 comma mass numbers a1 comma a2. One nucleus only breaks into two parts with the masses m1 m2, mass numbers a1 a2 comma radii r1 comma r2. So all the data we are giving in the sentence form. Radii r1 r2 are moving in opposite directions. Radii r1 comma r2 are moving in opposite directions with the speeds v1 v2, with the speeds v1 and v2, with the speeds v1 and v2. In this concept, how mass and volume are according to law of conservation of momentum. Right, next line. According to law of conservation of linear momentum, according to law of conservation of linear momentum, we know m1 v1 is equal to minus m2 v2, because both are moving opposite directions. Means momentum of the first nucleus is equal to the momentum of the second nucleus, but in opposite directions. Or you may take here v1 by or m1 by m2. m1 by m2 is equal to, well, I'll take magnitudes, v2 by v1. One formula. m1 by m2 is equal to v2 by v1. m1 m2 masses, v2 v1 both are speeds or velocities. And one more formula we know, density of nuclei. I'll take a density rho is equal to formula mass by volume. Understand carefully. Here small v, capital V both are not same. Capital V volume, but small v speed. In this formula both are having the same density. That's why m and v relation I'll take. So mass is directly proportional to v. If take v left side, rho constant, that implies m1 by m2 is equal to v1 by v2. You should write, where rho is a constant, density constant. Now we can compare all these. So check here, volume of the nucleus. I'll compare those formulae and here whatever the formula given. Volume of the nucleus is directly proportional to, volume of the nucleus is directly proportional to mass number. Volume of the nucleus is directly proportional to mass number. But here one more, r mass number is directly proportional to r cube. Check here, r cube proportional to a or a proportional to r cube. Here I'll write this proportional to r cube. One more, how the volume and mass related? Directly proportional, correct? Here volume is directly proportional to mass, but how the mass and this velocity related? Inversely. m1 by m2 equal to v2 by v1. That's why inversely. So proportional to write 1 by small v. Check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters given means so number of problems we can solve. So from this formula we can write v1 by v2 is equal to a1 by a2 equal to r1 by r2 whole cube equal to m1 by m2 equal to v2 by v1. Remember this one. So nearly 5 to 6 problems we can solve by using this one. So we can compare these two are first third, first fourth, first fifth, or third and last, and third second, or third and also first also. So various around 10 problems we can solve in NEET or JEE level exams. So it is about the nuclear size. So almost the size of the nucleus is equal to 10 power minus 14 meter to 10 to the power of minus 15 meter, nearly equal to 1 Fermi. So what is the size of the atom means 10 power minus 10 meter, but size of the nucleus around 10 to the power of minus 14 meter to 10 power minus 15 meter, because nucleus has no sharp boundaries. That's why it may approximately varied from 10 power minus 14 to 10 power minus 15 meter. So that's about size of the nucleus. In next class, we will discuss the remaining 4 properties: nuclear mass, nuclear density, and a nuclear spin, and a nuclear charge. These concepts we will discuss. Okay, thank you.